So many obstacles to get to this point. I can't go live on Facebook or YouTube because I don't have enough people. I can't go live on Instagram because I can't see where to save it. Maybe I'm just missing it. Maybe it's really not there. And then I tried recording something on a different device and the storage limit was reached. And I was like, you have been giving me notifications about that for a while. I shouldn't have doubted you, believed in you. Anyway, I'm going to be talking about back to school. Every time my children are occupied. Nap time, bedtime. Those are the times. All weekend. So the first topic that I wanted to talk about is resistance. Not only because we have started getting back into some homeschooling, but also because, I dealt with it all summer doing tutoring at our after-school program turned summer program. And also, I parented 2 and almost a half-year-old all day long. And so, she's just sitting on the floor of her room reading a book. And I'm like, and it's time we're going to sleep now. Keep. So, resistance. Everybody is going to feel some resistance or experience resistance in the person in front of them as we head into a new school year. Parents got it when they're trying to get everybody out the door or get them to do homework. Teachers got it when, the whole day long. All of the days. And I would imagine sometimes getting yourself out the door, right? Or getting yourself to sit down and grade. Hold on, there's a hair in my mouth. Or, you need to call a parent and you just don't wanna, right? So what can we even do when there's resistance? How do we survive when it's just, I think the word is draining. I think that's what it is. Because, you wish that you were just walking down the street, but you're actually walking in wet sand on the beach and without the view. Or you're walking through feet of water like everything that got flooded last night. Oh my goodness. Is everybody's basements okay? So what to do about resistance? First of all, today when my 2-year-old was very determinedly unbuckling the buckle I just did so that she could do it, and I just wanted to keep going on our walk. She was in the stroller. I acknowledged how angry it was making me, right? Actually, I had the thought pop into my head, I could scream right now. And I was like, I should pay attention to that. I should take some deep breaths. Yes, I should. So I think just recognizing that the reason resistance is uncomfortable is not necessarily a relational issue where this person is being an obstacle to me. It starts with having that emotion of anger or exhaustion or frustration, right? And that's why we're perceiving the other person as a problem, right? If we have no negative emotions about somebody else's resistance, then we don't have a relational issue, right? And that's where if it's yourself that needs to be doing something, like going to bed on time, right? Like making the call to the parent, like starting the grading, like starting to pack the lunches the night before, like getting off your phone and getting everybody out the door because you don't want to run late, but also you don't want to get everybody out the door. See, this is better than going live because I can pause the recording while I cough, and then you don't have to be subjected to that. Anyway, okay, so for those moments of resistance, when it's you yourself, you start feeling like you have a relational issue with yourself that can be fixed by yelling at yourself. When you have a relational issue with the other person that is caused by feeling frustrated when that person has resisted you, it feels like you can solve that problem by going harder on the other person and just hurry up, right? Okay, so here's the thing. That's not it. Okay, so let me tell you about the resistance that we were in this morning with trying to get some, I think it was math. No, it was writing out words. It's a struggle, okay? So, I had like 3 left, and I used a little bit of one of my tools that I learned in a class about how to help kids and teens manage anxiety and resistance. I will do it for free because with your kid if you want, because I'm still practicing. But I was like, okay, what does it feel like when I'm like, do this thing? He's like, feels like, oh, I don't want to do it. I'm like, okay, where do you feel that in your body? I don't think he answered. What does it feel like? And then, see, this is why I'm still practicing. I said, does it feel like a giant rock? Without giving him a chance to answer. But anyway, he was like, yes, it feels like a giant rock. And I was like, okay, what has to happen to a rock for it to change? And he's like, it could get worn away by the ocean for over hundreds of years. And I'm like, it could. We don't have that kind of time. And then he said it could get blown away by the wind, but that would also take a really long time. And I was like, yes, it would. Okay. What about smashing it? Like that giant rock in Pupstruction, the kids are, apparently Pupstruction is like the Paw Patrol Disney knockoff, but they're obsessed with it. And there was an episode where there was a giant rock, right, where they wanted to build a skate park. And they tried to smash it 97 times, and I knew that it did not work, and they ended up incorporating it into the skate park to be more fun, right? So I'm like, what about smashing it? And he's like, yeah, like Roxy, except they couldn't smash it, and it didn't go away. And I was like, so what did they do in the end? Knowing full well, but he told me. Like, I'm not sure he knew I knew. He was like, they just made it part of the skate park. I'm like, okay, so can you figure out a way to like make this rock part of like making it fun and getting it done? And he thought of one of the things that we have used many times, which is I pretend my fingers are mouses, and he explains to them what we're doing, and you know, they come with him along as he writes things out, you know, and they're like, oh my gosh, you're writing big, long words, crazy, right? So we got through it. But we got through it with fun. And I think enough people have said this on the internet about parenting stuff that sometimes parents feel frustrated, like, well, I just don't have time to make everything fun all the time. Let me push back a little bit. You don't have brain space or energy because your brain space and energy is being sucked away by the frustration that you're feeling. So there's 2 options. You can reduce your frustration by not thinking the thoughts that are creating the frustration, like, this is taking way too long. Why can't they just do what I say? Blah, 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 right? And replacing it with something like, another opportunity for creativity, or it must be really hard to be a kid, and I'm being summoned. Where was I? Making them, it must be really hard to be a kid and just be bossed around all the time, right? Like, it's hard to be an adult and boss around myself all the time. And schedules are like tricky for everyone, right? So compassion, curiosity, viewing it as an opportunity for your creativity to shine, right? And also, like, the other thing to reduce the frustration, if you don't believe any thoughts that make you less frustrated, right? Because don't lie to yourself. If you don't believe the thought, you can try it on and acknowledge it doesn't feel quite right. Take it off. The other thing is, just breathing through the frustration, right? Because if you actually allow it and don't pile on more resistance by being like, I shouldn't feel frustrated right now. I need to be calm. I need to be calm. I need to be calm, because if I'm not calm, everybody else isn't going to be calm. Okay, just be like, I'm really frustrated right now. I'm going to take a second. And then don't pile on resistance and just notice, what does frustration feel like in my body? And then maybe that'll leave room in your brain for some creativity. Also, since when is creativity and fun just for kids? Like, of course it works for them, but like, what about for like you getting out the door? Can you do a dance party? Getting yourself out the door? Can you put your favorite show on for grading, or does it actually distract you? Can you reward yourself in some way after you? Can you pretend that you're saving the world somehow by getting these grades done? It doesn't have to be all like dopamine rewards, right? It can just be like imagination, like, you know, like there's bribing your kids to do stuff, and then there's pretending we're frogs to jump out the door. So there's bribing yourself to do stuff, but then there's also just like pretending you're on a mission, acknowledging the fact that you really are on a mission to get this done so you can just relax. So yes, I would love to hear your thoughts on what I have missed about resistance, but I promised myself I would only make these 10 to 15 minutes, and it's 11 minutes now. So the end. Bye. Thanks for watching.